Good Monday morning, Quad Cities. Hope you had a great weekend. Weather-wise, not a lot to complain about. And I think you'll find that's the case as we go through the rest of the work week ahead of us. Today looking really nice with temperatures in the low 80s, mostly sunny skies this afternoon. Now, as we get into tonight, there is a cold front that's going to be working its way in from the north. It's going to try and develop a couple of widely scattered showers, I should say, but the air is so dry this morning, and I don't see that changing much this afternoon, even into tonight, that the majority of this is not going to be able to reach the ground. Another cool night. I would leave the windows open as we see readings in the 60s. Now tomorrow, that front will get a little bit more moisture, especially well south of the Quad Cities. We can't rule out a shower. Stay down south of Princeton into Monmouth, especially Burlington, Macomb, you could see one or two of those. The rest of us will be dry and a little bit warmer with readings in the mid 80s. I want to take you down here to the Caribbean because we have Tropical Storm Idalia. This is going to rapidly intensify into a hurricane in the next 24 hours. And it's got its sights set on Florida, that is. It's expected to make landfall Wednesday afternoon as a major Category 3 storm, could even go to a Category 4. But at that point, whether it's a 3, whether it's a 4, the impacts are still the same. A lot of rain, a lot of wind, and of course, a large amount of storm surge. Here's some of the cities and towns and of course areas that are impacted by this. So friends and family members that are in the cone here, today is kind of that last day to evacuate. May not be a bad idea to check up on them anywhere from St. Mark's to Perry, Cedar Key, and Pine Island. Generally speaking, just north of Tampa, kind of in the hot zone for this, if you will. Here's the storm surge forecast, up to 9 feet possible in Tampa Bay. And if you go further north, 12 feet possible just south of Tallahassee. So very serious storm. It's going to have some significant impacts, and it will even impact our pattern here in the Quad Cities. And I'll show you that here in a second. There's your watches and warnings right now. Hurricane watch south of Jacksonville through Tampa. That will likely transition to a hurricane warning in the next 12 hours as the impacts will begin being felt. Now, in terms of our pattern here, we're going to keep it quiet and cool for most of this week, but by the weekend, right into the first part of September, here comes the heat, and that is getting pumped in on the backside of that hurricane along with Hurricane Franklin. So the heat returns. I don't think it's going to be nearly as bad as what we saw last week, but we will see multiple days in the 90s and even the opportunity for some feels-like temperatures to get close to, if not just above 100. So a reminder that every month this year so far, we've had temperatures above the average, but still, despite that heat that we had last week, this month as a whole is still cooler than normal. And because it's going to be cool the next few days here, the final days of August, I don't see that changing. So quite remarkable what you can do, especially when you've got these nice, cool overnights. That's what's helped us keep our temperature for the month cooler than the average. Speaking of cool, there's going to be a couple of 40s that we'll wake up to on Thursday morning, so you may not want to leave the windows open nearly as much as you've got going here the next couple of nights. But there's your heat and humidity surging for the end of the weekend, and unfortunately, outside of a shower that likely won't reach the ground tomorrow, that is the only opportunity for rain in the next 8 days.